Hello and welcome to the channel. Normally I would be out there hunting and scouring around car boot sales, but as you can see outside, or maybe you can't from there, it is dripping and soaking wet and nobody wants to go to a car boot sale when it's like that, so they've all cancelled. Which means I do have the opportunity to get a head start on the Monday, which is 2 days away now, but normally I'm so busy booting on a Saturday, booting on a Sunday, then when it comes to Monday, I pack my sales and things like that and get moving forward. Today it just gives me an extra day. I'm all about that. It's 11:31, I've been to the gym, I've just had my eggs, and now the morning's mine, afternoon, whatever. I've actually done a lot of photographing already, loads of drafting, got loads of pictures done, started moving through a bunch of this stuff here. And I mentioned to you guys that I was going to build like a clothing station, a tilted one. Somebody mentioned about being wall mounted and stuff. I mean, wall mounting is a possibility. I've got about 110 centimeters there, and I need this to be about 120 down here. I could like put a hinge just here and then pull it out and then have a leg that drops and holds out, and then when I'm finished just fold it up and jig against the wall. I think I've had another idea. I'm going to get the same piece of wood that I need, 100 by 120 or 130, whatever I want, or maybe I could do a bit more than 110 actually now. I'm going to put a little beam on the back, so where the... Tell you what, imagine there's my bit of wood that I'm going to get, yeah? I'm going to put a little beam just across here, a little bit of wedge, so I can like hook it onto this table. Meaning I can have the height whatever I want, so I can adjust the height, because my table is height adjustable. Whoa. My table is height adjustable. I've got things there, I should probably be doing that. My table's height adjustable, so I can just lay my piece of wood on here wherever I want it, have it folding out at an angle. My lights will be up here, my other lights will be coming down on here, and I can just crack on and do some clothing. Then once I'm finished with the board, pick it up, lean it against the wall. So it's technically wall mounted. But there you go, there's a bit of waffle of what I intend to do. Because I can't keep buying all these good clothes and then leaving them in a pile and then eventually getting 6 months or a year down the line thinking I haven't done anything with them and just doing a whatnot show and selling them for pennies on the pound. It's dumb, stupid. So I need to find a solution, and my solution is the workspace. The reason why I don't list the clothing is the way that I've got to do it on the floor or up against the wall. Don't like it. Anyway, enough waffling on. We've got some sales to show you today. I'm just going to move them on, get them out the door early. I don't have to get any of these out the door until Monday. Some of them even Tuesday, believe it or not. But we're going to do it. There's going to be a few of you guys that are on Vinted like, where is my item? Because, you know, I haven't marked it as dispatched. So on Vinted, we're going to start. I've got on some personal sales, and one of them is mwah. I want to tell you a little bit about just going with your gut and overriding laziness or can't be botheredness. We'll talk about that in a moment. £10 all in, the Club Mochi Mauser's Shell. Mochi! 2 pints lager and a packet of crisps. One of you keen viewers actually knew what I was talking about. You mochi mocha! I'm 37, alright? I'm an old millennial. I almost call myself a boomer. I think I paid £4 for this, so I'll have £10 on Vinted, so no fees. 678, so you watch the channel. In fact, yes you do, because I've replied to a message. Thanks for accepting my offer, Ricky. Long time watcher, background lurker of your channel. Picked up some great tips and appreciate your values when it comes to reselling. Keep pushing. Much love. That's Yorkie Bar 94 over on Vinted. What is your actual name? Georgie. I appreciate that, Georgie. What did you pick up? Converse, £6.78. I think these are from Colin and Andrea. So I might have bought these in the car boot sale for like 2 or 3 quid. I don't know when it comes to shoes anymore. I appreciate everyone, all of you. Nintendo DS. This has come from a private estate that I'm dealing with. There we go. With charger. Charger's a bit dusty and whatever else. But Donk's picked this one up. Donk on it. Put a donk on it. He said, thank you fella, I knew you couldn't resist. Love the videos, your content is awesome. Because the offer was 2, 4, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate? Donk. Donk, donk. Donk's picked it up. Sorry mate, I'm going to stop doing that now. Dan has paid 2468. This is part of a private estate that I'm dealing with at the moment. So there's no pleasure in the sale. And there's no profit in the sale. Just moving on. Dan, I appreciate it mate. And the bunch of PJ and Duncan cassette tapes from the big bundle that I picked up but still haven't sorted out. They're all there still. Still got to sort them all out. Just there. I've only done the PJ and Duncan ones. Haven't done any single ones. These have sold for $14.99. James has picked these one up. Falaraki goodie. It's my sister's birthday on the 10th of June and she was It's my sister's birthday on the 10th of June, and she was well into PJ and Duncan. Much love, James. Was? I've only just realised what that says in there. Because I replied with, thank you, mate. Am I reading into that correctly now? Either way, I appreciate the pickup, mate. And all my love, regardless. Right, so moving into eBay now. That was the Vinted sales. Appreciate any of you guys that had picked any up. And moving into Vinted. Like I said, 2 personal sales that I need to show you as well. Say personal, they're just not on eBay or Vinted, is what I mean by that. Paid £1, sold for $12.99. All in is the elephant bowl. It's like a salad bowl, fruit bowl, cannabis bowl if that's what you're into. Just there you go. Boom. It's all carved out of one piece of wood, this bit here. I believe it is anyway. It's all carved from one piece. One piece. $12.99 all in. Not bad for £1, is it? Not bad for £1. This is one of my auctions. I've got 50 items on auction, so if you want to go grab a bargain, head over to my eBay account. Links are in the description down below. If not, it is just Ricky Resells as well. Most things are started at $1.99. In fact, I think they all are. And postage is $2.99 or $3.99 if they're over 1 kilo. Star Wars Micro Machines 1 per mini toy head. With the figures inside. Sold for $11.99 all in. £9 plus $2.99 postage. And that one has actually gone to... because we've got a message. We've got a message... Ben's picked that one up. Wookie Seat Wax. Wookie Seat Wax? Wookie Seat Wax? You actually left a note or a message. I remember it said something like, I watched the channel or something, but I can't see it there now, unfortunately. Because, yeah, you don't get to see that. I think you left me a note with an offer. But, Ben, I massively appreciate that one, mate. Coming out to you. What was that? £9 plus a little bit of postage. Another one from the private estate sale that I'm dealing with. $37.49 all in. Again, I'm going to be paying tax on it, but there's no pleasure and there's no profit in this sale. $37.49. And £18.50 all in for these Gillette Freedom sticks. Have I showed you these already? I think I might have done. I'm not sure. But there was £1 each anyway. And then he said, I feel like I've recorded this already. What the hell? What the hell? What the helly? What the hell, Beyonce? I feel like I've said this bit before. But if I started filming this already somewhere. Who cares? We're here now. These were £1 each. I said, obviously, I'll just buy both of them. £18.50 all in. £15 plus postage. For some Gillette walking sticks. That's so weird. I'm either having a weird case of deja vu or I have started filming this already. I'm going to check on my camera in a minute and see if I've got like a started progress thing. £15 for some walking sticks. I paid £1 each actually. And that is all for eBay. Moving over to Instagram, outside of platform sales now. You remember the Concord stuff that I picked up? It's got the socks, the pictures, the unused flight tags, the little music bits. There's loads of like cool stuff in there. Paid £1 or £2, sold it for £40 all in. Adrian's actually picked this one up. One half of Adrian and Karina. He's paid £40. He offered me £50. I said no. Because he just read a book about Concord recently. It's really got him into it. So I like to be able to do what I can. I'm not greedy. I'm not greedy. And you'll find out in a minute as well. So Adrian, massively appreciate that. And a big hello to Karina as well if you're there watching. And the best sale, of course, I've saved it till last because that is just the way we do things over here on YouTube. We need to keep you watching. The Adidas jumper. Lots of you guys reached out to me and asked me about things. I couldn't remember who. There was honestly so many of you. So many of you asked me questions. So if I didn't get back to you, I do apologise. But the first person ever to ask, who I finally got back to, was Brian. Brian Harris has picked this one up. He's picked up the Scotty Cameron stuff off me before. Picked up loads of bits from me. He was the first one to speak to me as I was going through the messages and sorting out. Everybody basically asked for sizes. He asked for sizes. So I went through starting off 1, 2, 3, and I sent the sizes off. He was the first one that messaged, and he's the first one that responded with the size, so he got the sale. So anybody else who inquired, I do apologise. Not being a dick about it, but that's the way it is. First come, first serve, unfortunately. The Adidas Colorado jacket. This is an 80s quarter zip, absolutely beautiful. Looks like a few little marks here. We've showed him that, but I'm pretty sure they might wash out. But this stain remover, they might remove. Just a really nice piece. If you have a look where it's made in West Germany, so that gives it a nice finite date regardless, because obviously West Germany came to an end in whatever the date was. And yeah, it's a really nice piece. I just knew immediately when I was looking at it that it was old. And there goes my light. What if I whack it like a TV? No. And it was the Colorado one, but I didn't know exactly if it was going to be the early one, or if it's going to be, because they reissued these quite a few times during Adidas's career. I think they released them even as early back as 2011, 2012. I think they did another one. So this colourway is probably one of the most sought after colourways as well. There's plenty of colourways out there. Again, it's all preference, but this one seems to be the most sought after. I mean, it's very 80s, very sort of like, and somebody wore this. I can't remember who wore it. Pretty sure somebody wore this as well in a film or something. Can't remember. If there is, I'll put some details up. If not, I'm waffling, or I just can't find the information during the edit. Sales of this one in a smaller size of £175 and around that sort of area as well. I think it's a very, very, very fair price. So speaking about, I'm not greedy, especially if I'm selling to you guys. As long as I'm making a nice tidy profit on something that's worth a nice chunk, I'm happy. Paid £4.25 for it. I said to Brian, you give me £125 and it's yours. And he said, sold. Because he knows. He saved a nice chunk, and obviously they don't come round that often, do they? And even if they do, he has saved a nice chunk. So this one has sold to Brian Harris, the one and only legendary golfer, £125. Now let me tell you about what I mean by going with your gut and overriding the laziness. When I picked this hoodie up, I had two choices. So I came out of my parcel shop, and then I go down this road. And along this road, I either turn off here to go home, or I keep on going to then start the journey to go to my local charity shop, even though it's like a extra probably 4 minutes to get there. It is, or I can go home. And that 4 minutes is like 3 traffic lights and stop start. Just can't be bothered. So I came out and I started indicating to go home, and I was like, no, just go and have a quick look. Go and have a quick look. Cancelled the indicator at the last second and carried on. Hopefully there was nobody behind me to piss off about that. Sorry if he was. And I went to charity shop, and then that's the first, as soon as I walked to the clothing, there it was, the first piece on the rack as well. Like, oh, you better come and get me. I was there at 9 or whatever it was. So I was there opening. That would have gone. If I would have not listened to my gut and not overrid the, oh, let's just go home instead, I would never have picked this up. So intuition, gut, listen to it, and override the laziness. Sometimes when you can't be bothered, just do it. The rule of 3, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, up you get. If you can't bother to get up or can't bother to do something, count to 3 and just do it. At least start the process. Who do I think I am? Andrew Tate or something, or some other mentor thingy motivation guy. Do what you want to do, to be honest with you. Do whatever you want. Massively appreciate everyone who's picked something up, whether you're a follower or not, whether you can hear me on this video or not. I appreciate it. Please do consider liking the video on the way out and subscribe. In fact, don't consider it, just do it. And I'll see you on the next one. Hopefully we get at least one car boot sale out of this weekend.